one day after she beheaded her husband, Zeus transformed himself into a swan and then had sex with her, or just, I don't know, unknowingly inserted his sperm into her.
What's up, what is up?
And welcome to our coffee shop. I'm your host, Mia, and welcome to another episode of the KopiBros show presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for those of you that are tuning in via YouTube or any sort of podcasting platform, hi again. Thank you so much for giving us a try, for giving us a listen. We're just a Singaporean bunch that are going to be learning about Greek Mythology. Zeus, Poseidon, Hercules, all of them. But once again, I'm joined by my KopiBros, Brandon, and of course, the one guy that is hopping around on a lot of podcasts now again, Tiong. How you guys doing? Everyone doing well?
Yes, I'm doing well.
Doing well. Brandon, yourself, doing well?
I'm doing okay.
I saw that on your Instagram, you're going back to the gym.
Bro, yeah, that's the reason why I'm feeling okay. I feel like my body is breaking down. Today was the first time I went back to like a circuit training gym.
Oh. What do you mean? You just like straight away start like a hard one, you do a circuit training, like a intense HIIT circuit training.
I don't know whether there's like a levels or, but it's just they just say like circuit training it's like F45 standard, like maybe slightly harder.
F45
easier.
is crazy, man. I do before once.
Yeah.
My God.
What they make you do?
Oh, I think, bro, at the warm up, right, my body was cramping already. My my abs was cramping during warm up. Because at the warm up, right, they like did ask us to do like burpees. Stuff. After that burpees, we'll go into like the this incline, this sit up thing. Damn.
What do you do for the actual workout?
So there was gorilla rolls. Then after that, from there, there's also like
what battle ropes?
To this one don't have battle ropes, but doesn't have the weights push up / after that what's that?
Like press up
shoulder press up. Yeah. Along the way there are a lot of other exercises that honestly I barely remember after that. I don't know what was I going through. And the worst thing, right, is that we ended off right with like 3 sets of 300-meter run outside. Like we went outside. I was just like, damn. It was so freaking hot. Then I was just like, then I was like, okay 300 meters doesn't sound that bad. You know, like after they say, okay, you turn right, then you run in the like a estate. I turn right. I see like a upslope. I was like, wow.
But you went today, right?
Fever. Yeah, just today.
Okay,
wait,
you'll feel it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like my legs are already aching now, so I can't even imagine how bad it will be tomorrow.
Wow, sian. But like, hopefully you get used to it lah. But do you think you'll go back?
Yeah. I was very ambitious.
That doesn't sound very convincing.
I was going to say that I was very ambitious. I booked the class today. It was at the garage, so I was like, Wednesday I go to the garage. I want to because I want to get a feel of which one I want to go for. Then maybe I give one day rest Thursday. Then Friday I'll go for F45.
Wow.
Forget it.
It's not gonna happen.
Gotta go. We're getting old, man. All 3 of us lah. But okay, actually, today's episode, the centaur of attention, is Mr. Ting Yong. Interestingly enough, right, I think we touched on this before. You and I, we became friends like because of my wife, because you all studied together.
Yeah.
But it's also because you and I like to deep dive into like, like pointless but
funny
interesting
things.
Yeah, like deep dive into like this stuff, like interesting subject matter. Like we like to talk about like what serial killers are, what mythologies are, this type of stuff like that lah. Yeah. So actually we decided like, since you know so much about this type of mythologies, we'll be doing some sort of a mini series where every now and then we will invite you on to go and teach me and Brandon a bit about maybe a certain mythology or like a certain thing in the future lah. Like can be anything that you want to go and teach us about lah.
Yeah.
All right, and then for this week's episode, because we said that okay, we're going to do a mythology episode this week, we're going to discuss actually Greek mythology.
Greek mythology.
The Olympus. Yeah, so you learn a bit about everybody that's in the Greek mythology. So
Hercules.
Hercules. Most famously Hercules lah. Can I ask Jiyong, right? How do you get into like all this mythology stuff?
It started from one book. The book is called Mythos, Mythos, by this UK comedian called Stephen Fry. Greek mythology series got two books. One is Mythos, one is Heroes. So Mythos is about the gods, Heroes is about the humans.
Ah, okay. When you say humans, do you mean like demigods or like
demigods?
Humans?
Yeah,
so
more than
like
half of them are half children of Zeus lah.
Oh, okay. So for you, it's like this was the gateway for you to go and get interested to this type of mythologies lah.
Yes. Then it slowly started expanding to like Egyptian, Norse. Yeah, so Norse mythology, I read the New Gaiman's version. New Gaiman actually wrote a book about Norse mythology. That's where I got started.
Okay, but then now that you like sort of like have a bit of a window into other mythologies, is this your favorite?
No.
Oh, it's not your favorite, Greek mythology.
I tell you honestly, the more you learn about Greek mythology, right, the more you realize that the gods are really capable at fucking things up, and then they're really good at they're really good at doing bad things, and then humans become the humans or demi-humans become the sufferers of it lah. Yeah, and
the one
gods
that suffer,
are always
right?
the one with flaws. Yeah, like they're jealous, they will do stupid things, they cannot control their lust, this kind of thing. Yeah.
But actually, like interestingly enough, Brendan, I don't know, because me and Jin Yong, right, we talk about this stuff all the time. But I don't know, like, what's your level of like knowledge for Greek mythology?
I would say at the Percy Jackson level.
Percy Jackson.
The Percy Jackson level. Because like I feel like there are a lot of like adaptations of Greek mythology. So I've whatever I know from Greek mythology is like from the different adaptations of like the folding on like for example, nowadays I read a lot. I was just using a manga that was using a webtoon that was using Greek mythology.
Greek mythology.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the webtoon called?
It's called Transcension Academy. Like everyone who has transcended, which basically all the gods are, then they'll hold classes, like classes and lectures online to.
This looks interesting.
It's quite interesting. So then after they were just talking about Hercules. Then that's where I was thinking about like I don't know whether the Hercules and Heracles. Is it Heracles?
Heracles.
Heracles. They are the same person, right?
Yeah, same. Okay, because Greek mythology, right? They started in Greece. Sorry, they started in Greece.
Yeah, correct.
But when Rome as an empire grew so big, right, and started swallowing up like places, right, they took over this Greek mythology thing and decided to call it their own. Which is why sometimes, like for example, Zeus is known as Jupiter also.
It's the same thing, just that they changed the context or they changed the names.
So there are slightly different versions. Then I'm not surprised if let's say the same character might have a slightly different spelling, this kind of thing.
Yeah. Brendan, you're saying something.
I think, I was just going to say it's just that the Heracles, the story, right, is so different from the Hercules I know growing up. You know, the Disney movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he went through the 12 labors, it was because that he killed his wife. I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
Is there like a short summary or a theme of just the overall perception of Greek mythology?
It's just very screwed up, honestly. I just feel that
your short summary is it's screwed up.
Yeah. It's basically about honestly, right, the stories of humans are more inspiring and more uplifting as compared to stories of
I feel like Greek mythology is just that it's just overpowered. Like people who are overpowered, right, being able to do whatever they want with like very little consequences.
Correct.
Correct. I think that's a good summary as well.
It's like an unwritten rule, like let's say, for example, if let's say Hera gets jealous and go and punish like Zeus' half son, right? Zeus will like stay out of his way one. I mean, he can help by going around and doing small things, like maybe give him a nice shoe, this kind of thing. But he won't like outright and protect his son, this kind of thing, right? Because it's a like unwritten rule that gods are not supposed to interfere with each other's businesses.
Okay, let's put on our what do they wear? Like robes, right? Let's put on our robes and then let's dive into the world
I have
of
no
Greek
idea.
yogurt.
Greek yogurt. Must wear the sash.
Let's go. Let's dive into the episode. All right. Okay, for this week's episode, you'll be telling us 3 main stories about Greek mythology. I think that one of the things that we requested is that we don't want the more common sort of stories lah. So
Yeah.
it's like we don't want to have like, oh, how Hercules, or the 12 trials, or like the how Hades got sent to we want more of like a unique story lah. Okay, so you're going to be telling us 3 stories. First off, Jin Yong, go ahead. Take it away. You're going to be leading us for this
Okay,
episode.
so I'm telling 3 stories. The first one that I'm telling, I think, is more common, but I think it's important that we sort of know the creation myth of Greek mythology lah.
Okay.
So that's the more common one. But the 2 lesser known ones that I choose to pick is, of course, number 1 is about a half god. It's the story of Gemini, the constellation.
Okay.
Yeah. One of my favorite Greek mythology stories because it's about sacrifice and it's about the good of human instead of the good of God lah.
Okay.
And then the last one is about the King Minos of Crete, which is the son of Zeus that became the king of the land called Crete, which is where Zeus grew up. Yeah,
Okay.
and apparently according to Greek mythology, he invented the first condom lah. Yeah.
We did an episode on that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the real condom, the actual.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. All right, Jing, what's the first story?
Okay, so the first story starts with like, this is very different from what a lot of religions know the universe starting. So it starts with this thing called chaos. So chaos is just a black nothingness. It's just literally nothingness.
Okay.
So it birthed 3 entities out. But I think the most important entity for us to know here is called Gaia, which is Mother Earth, which is what known as Mother Earth now. And then Gaia and this chaos, which is this nothingness, they of course procreated and had a lot of other children. Some are the rivers, some are the seas. But the most important one that Gaia birthed out of herself was this thing called Uranus. Uranus and Gaia had 12 children. Okay, these children are known as Titans.
Okay.
Okay. So but the issue is that after a certain point in time, right, Uranus started getting jealous. You can say he got jealous. You can say he got tired of his wife. So he stopped wanting to have children with his wife. So he started blocking all her holes. Like literally, according to the story, they blocked all the caves. All the caves that got hole, right? They blocked it.
That's a lot of holes, right?
Yeah. So they stopped having children lah. So Gaia was very unhappy. So she started rah-rahing her own children to go say, hey, go kill your father because I don't like him anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So all his children were very skeptical except for the youngest one called Kronos.
Okay.
And then she gave him a sickle, the one you used to cut all the...
Yeah,
cut all the grass one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he took the sickle, went to his father when he was sleeping, Uranus, cut off his testicle and his balls.
Oh!
And then threw it into the sea. So out of the sea came out the goddess of love, Aphrodite. I don't know how that works, but that is the story.
The sperm haven't died yet. Some people. So they push the sperm into the sea, right, where it's like a bed of.
No, it's really that ridiculous because they will say like, oh, the testicle drop into the sea, like bubbles form, then Aphrodite come out.
Because in a lot of the manga, like stories that I've read, right, Gaia is Mother Earth, right?
Yes.
Mother
yes,
Earth.
correct.
Uranus is Father Sky.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, the god of the skies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the reason why, like last time they said, like, oh, he sensed, like, he made that there was like tornadoes, like floods, and everything,
Correct.
so that to cover up all the caves and like to destroy the earth. Are they still human form?
Okay,
Because
so
the thing is, that's a difference between some of the stories. Is like some of the stories is that they
Correct.
have human form. Some of the
Correct.
stories is they don't have human form.
I think it really depends on what version you read. Like the version I read, right, or rather the version I subscribe to, they tell us not to be fixated on the human form because a lot of these gods they don't really have a human form, or rather they can turn into a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. I think just for illustration purposes, that's why they probably use a human form.
Yeah,
It's easier
to
for us to
follow
conceptualize. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, in
yeah,
terms
yeah.
of comics and stuff
Correct,
like that.
correct.
Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, so after the
Threw his nutsack into the water.
Father
Yeah.
Uranus had his testicle cut off, right? Not his anus. Of course the Kronos gained control of the whole universe lah. So he married his own sister Rhea, and then they sort of started having children also. But before his father died, his father told Kronos, he said, "I will curse that one day your children will do to you what you did to me."
Oh,
So
okay.
he was very scared. So the first 5 children that he had with Rhea, right? He actually eat them and swallow them into his stomach.
Oh.
So the 6th child, which is Mr. Zeus, that was when the mother said, "Enough is enough. I don't want to kill my children anymore." So I don't know how she did that. She substituted Zeus for a stone. So the Kronos ate the stone instead. And then she brought Zeus to this island called Crete, which is now actually it still exists in Greece. So if you go Greece, it's still a nice place to visit.
Okay.
And Zeus actually grew up there.
Okay.
And that was where he also met his first wife, Metis. Most of you know his wife as Hera.
Hera,
This is actually his second wife. So Hera is like the marriage destroyer. Yeah. Metis is like this one is his first wife. His 正宫. Yeah.
First off, this Kronos, he comes off quite stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a rock, like really a rock. Like you just put a rock. So the whole time you just gave birth, I'm going to throw this rock away. Like, I'm going to pretend that I killed this rock.
I have no idea how that happened. Yeah.
In like some of the stories I read, right, manga I read, right, it's because they all have powers, ma. They all have like absolute control of like. You just think about Thanos wanting to like magically use this rock to, because end of the day their form is different from humans, ma. So it's like instead of a rock, right, they just imbue like some whatever powers into the rock, right?
A child like that,
yeah, like there's life force inside this, like there's life force inside this substance, which could be anything. Because like in the Titans, right, they all had like a specific, like I don't know why, like they made it in a way that each Titan like sort of like had a specific power / like attribute / like you know, like they have like that embodies them.
Yeah, and then like it's quite ironic that this Kronos, right, he should have cut off his own ball and throw it.
Which is true.
That's true. What you say?
The whole time I was like, why don't you just go for a
why don't you do it on your own, man?
Zeus grew up in Crete until he became a fine young man. I don't know how fine it is. So when he was of a certain age, right, he decided that it was his rightful claim to go back and wrestle the power from his own father. So his wife Metis actually gave him a don't know what concoction, some medicine. And then he so-called tricked his father into drinking this medicine. His father vomited out all his 5 children that he previously swallowed, all his brothers and sisters. So they gang up together. And then the Olympians versus the Titans, that was how the big battle started.
Zeus is the youngest of all of the...
Yes.
All of the older...
Kronos was the youngest, Zeus was the youngest. Yeah.
Okay.
What really what a cool curse.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so the whole war, I didn't go into detail of the whole war, but the Titans have 2 very important people that turn the tides of war lah. Okay, not turn the tides of war. One of them was Atlas. You know the Atlas map? Yeah.
Atlas.
So he was the one that led the battle for Titans. So he was like the general of the Titans. He led a very fierce battle against the Olympians, and of course, when he subsequently lost, Zeus punished him by asking him to hold the whole world on his which is why now when we see maps, we are called Atlas maps because these are carried by Atlas.
Yeah, he sees the whole.
The other one was Prometheus. According to the Oppenheimer, he was the one that brought fire to.
Oh yes.
Yeah. But he was one of the rare few what do you call that? Rare few Titans that Zeus allowed to live in Olympus with them. Because during the battle with the Titans, right, he was the one that so-called led the Titans into the trap that turned the tides of war.
Okay, so he backstabbed the Titans.
Yes.
He's a traitor.
A crucial part in the war, and then he stole fire to give to humans.
Okay. I
Yeah,
understand. Yeah, but he gave humans something that now it's like they can technically kill them. Like
They use it to
themselves.
destroy themselves. Yeah.
Oh,
Correct.
okay. That's so cool. Okay, so like
Yeah.
Prometheus is the only one that managed to like stay in Olympus after that lah, because
Yes,
he betrayed the
yes.
rest of the
Yeah.
Titans. Why did he betray them?
Oh, they say that he switched sides to support the victorious Olympians when the Titans would not follow his advice to use trickery in the battle.
Okay. Yeah, you want to play dirty?
Yeah.
No,
Later.
he didn't want to underestimate the Olympians.
Yeah. He's the one that like want to do like the low blow.
use brains more than use bronze.
Okay, so like overall, the conclusion is that after that, then they built Olympus after that lah.
Yes, after they won the war, then they gained power.
Oh, okay. And then after that, the Titans they remain locked, right? Correct. They locked them up.
Yeah, correct. Except for actually most of them locked up lah. Yeah, except for some of the I think less crucial ones, they had minor roles to play lor. But I think the crucial ones that I know are like Atlas, Prometheus. These are the few lah. Yeah.
Okay. So Kronos, he already died before all this whole battle lah.
Yeah.
Okay. He got because he was given the concoction. He often okay.
Yeah.
Then after that, then he died lah. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Can I ask, how does Zeus? Is he still technically alive now, or is he dead?
I have no idea leh. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know, is this
Question.
mythology like still around or is it not around? Do you know what I mean? Like technically.
Technically, I think mythologies have very little influence in modern culture.
Day-to-day
nowadays,
life lah.
honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So technically,
is why
we
if
have
you-
no idea. Yeah, whether they are.
Which is why if you ask me, right, the only thing that we can know mythologies from are of course tablets, and another thing is because of Renaissance and a lot of paintings and murals were drawn.
Yeah, movies
like
also.
early France, these kind of places. Yeah.
You know what? The thing is that I always have this idea that Kronos is something very cool. Because like, you know, when you buy a watch and it's like, oh
Yeah. The chronosphere, like they control time. But I think that's a
The guy-
different chronos. Yeah.
The guy that has the courage to cut off your dad's testicles. Wow.
yeah. The ball breaker, Kronos. Nonsense, yeah.
Because Kronos was is the god of time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the reason why it's
Correct.
chronosphere and like Kronos.
Hey,
yeah.
Brandon, not bad. Brandon knows quite a lot. Just now, media just saying that he's scared you don't know much thing, but actually you know quite a lot of things.
I read a lot of mangas and novels
Yeah.
that embodies all this.
Then I guess because Zeus, like all the Titans are locked up, then he become like a dick, right? Like, you know, like
do what
like
he
a
wants.
havoc.
Yeah, go around sleeping around. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he become like Russell Crowe in the. Yeah,
I mean, there are
exact
still a lot
video.
of other interesting stories about Zeus about how he built Olympus, because Olympus was supposed to have 12 people. Ma.
Mm.
Yeah. So when he started, there were only 6 of them. And then some were like his affairs, and then they had like twins like Apollo and Artemis. Some like Athena was born from his headache, the head then cracked out, this kind of thing. Yeah. So this kind of thing is at the back. Yeah.
Some of the origin stories, like, I just feel like it's like them lazy writing.
Yeah. You just like
Headache, crack open, yeah.
sometimes when you have such a bad migraine, it feels like there's another person inside.
You feel like there's
I tell you,
someone's in my mind.
No, but
another one even more shocking.
Panadol
one,
hasn't
I
been
forget.
invented yet. Where is my Panadol?
I tell you, this is
That's
not
right.
the worst. The worst is, the god of wine, Dionysius.
Okay.
Apparently,
Wow, I didn't
his
know there was a god
mother
of wine.
died before his 9 months is up, right? So Zeus just take out him from his mother body, right? Like just whack into his calf, and then he grew up in his calf, and then 9 months later just pop out as Dionysius.
Oh wow.
From the
Damn.
calf.
From the
Yeah.
calf.
I don't
What
know
a
how that
shitty
works.
place to be, man. The calf.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah. The calf is like every time you get cramp.
Yeah. like, hey bro, you did legs day, ah? No, oh nah, I'm giving birth. My calf I'm pregnant in my calf. There's a baby inside.
All right. Dion. That was an interesting story. Okay, next up, what's your next story?
Okay, so my next story is about the story of Gemini, this constellation.
Okay.
Okay, so actually,
This is your favorite story, right?
yes, this is my favorite story, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, so each constellation has a story lah. So of course, 12 constellations has 12 stories, but some of the stories are very lame. Like the story for Cancer, which is the constellation of a crab, right? The story very sad that he was part of Hercules' 12 labors. Then Hera sent him to so-called stop him from doing something. Then Hercules just kill him. Then Hera like, oh, so sad, you die already. So I advise you, then you become constellation. Right? Yeah. So I picked one that
constellation.
Yeah. So I picked one that I thought was more touching and more, how to say, befitting of what I call humanity lah. This story starts with this Queen of Sparta. Okay. Like the Sparta that we watched in
300
series. Yeah, 300, correct. So she bedded her husband.
Okay.
But how she know, right? One day after she bedded her husband, Zeus transformed himself into a swan. And then either had sex with her, or just, I don't know, unknowingly inserted his sperm into her. Either way. Okay. So she got
this
pregnant.
Queen of Sparta.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So she got pregnant with 2 sets of twins. Okay, one from her human husband, another one from Zeus.
So there's 4 in the stomach.
Yes, so there's four people. Okay. And then when she gave birth, right, some say she laid eggs. Some say she birthed and lay eggs. So I don't know what to believe in. But anyway, she had 4 children, sorry. 2 girls, 2 boys. Okay, so the constellation story.
So is it 2 boys as one set, 2 girls in one set, or is it like 1 boy, 1 girl, 1 boy, 1 girl?
1 boy, 1 girl, 1 boy, 1 girl.
Okay. So just to understand.
So the pair of human boy and girl, right? That one is called Castor, and the girl, her name she forget because not very significant. I forget.
Okay.
Yeah.
She forget. You forget.
For the demi-human pair, the boy is called Pollux. Pollux.
Okay.
The daughter, which you all might know better, is called Helen of Troy. Because she was the reason the whole children was started. Yeah.
For her unreal beauty.
Yes, correct. Which is I don't know, quite nonsense. But anyway, so we shall focus on Castor and Pollux. So the 2 of them grew up well known for different things, right? Because Pollux had superhuman strength because he was half god, ma.
Okay.
So people like from everywhere will come and so-called want to battle him, want to admire him for his strength. Whereas his brother, right, or twin brother, half brother, Castor was known for like he's very good on the stallion. He can ride the horse, everything. Archery very good, this kind of thing. Yeah. So the 2 of them did almost everything together because they were that good of like brothers together lah.
Even though they are not blood brothers. They are set.
Correct.
Yeah, they're not from Zeus, like both from Zeus. It's like
correct.
one. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they did a lot of things, included like going on adventures, joining like Jason and the Argonauts, but that is for another story. What I want to focus on today is how did the human brother die called Castor. Okay. So the way they die was to me a bit lame lah. Okay, because they because they I don't know where they get this idea from. Like they say that we need to go steal this pair of twin girls to get married to them. Not say steal lah. Like they
like
saw another pair of twins.
Like kidnap or trap them or something like that lah.
Correct. So they saw their cousins who is another pair of male twins wanting to go after this pair of female twins as brides lah.
Okay.
So they started like so-called facing off with them, but not in the form of battle. They started like stealing their horses, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, they started stealing their cattle.
Okay.
Yeah, so they stole their cousin's cattle first and then got away with it. Then the cousin came back and so-called steal their cattle.
Okay.
Yeah, so eventually, right, it resulted in them being like fighting each other lah.
Okay.
But,
as in they are fighting with the cousins, right?
Yes,
the
correct.
set of them are fighting the two cousins. Okay,
Correct.
for the same girl.
For the same
Two
pair.
girls,
twins.
same pair of girls.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of
what
twins.
happened was that
Yeah.
So what happened was that the human
Two
twins,
genes,
right, in the battle, he got injured and then he died.
Okay.
So Castor died. Yeah. Pollux, of course, he couldn't die. He's a demi-human. But when he realized his brother died, he was so overcome with grief, right? Then he called out to God and say, like, is there any way to revive my brother? So Zeus, being his half-father, suddenly descended and tell him, got one way for you to so-called be with your brother, right? He said,
Does he know that Zeus is his half-father at this time?
this one I don't know,
Oh, okay.
Probably. Yeah.
I think he does. I think he does. I think
Okay.
a lot of stories I do is like all of Zeus kids in the end half. I think by the time they turn past teenage years, right, suddenly they all know that Zeus is their father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to ask.
Or in some versions that I read, right, they say that it is now that Zeus come and tell him like, oh, I'm your father, so actually you have immortality.
Okay. So it's like technically
because
it's only in that moment then he know lah.
Yeah, some versions some versions.
Okay.
Yeah. So Zeus had to tell him that because he said the only way to save your brother, right, is that you have to give out your immortality so that your brother can revive him.
Okay.
So without a doubt, he said, yes, I'll give up my immortality so that my brother can live. Yeah.
Okay.
So he really gave out his immortality. Then his brother so-called got of course Zeus so-called revived his brother. But I think the gods and Zeus were so touched by this act of them being like so brotherly loving, although it sounds a bit, then they so-called give them the right to join Olympus as demi-humans and half gods. And then eventually they rose to become the constellation Gemini. So they say that's why Gemini, the constellation, if you see, it actually represents the sign of two people like side by side.
Oh, okay. Brotherly love. Yeah, the interesting thing is that when people see Gemini, they always like, oh, it's two-faced, like you're like a...
Yeah. What's the one of the stories that I read, right? It was basically one of the brother died, right? Then the brother couldn't get over it. Then in the end, he developed a dual personality. That's why after Gemini always faced with it's like two sides of the coin.
Also.
Twin personalities. So after that, they always switch between personality and personality. So they're both brothers in one body, something like that. In Greek mythology, they are in the stars, right? They are
correct.
So they're dead, right? In the stars.
No, they never say. They never say that whether they're dead or not alive.
So the crab person is alive after he died?
Which crab
That's
person?
a good question.
Yeah, no,
I
because
also don't know.
in the opening he said that the cancer Interesting. Okay. I think I'll read up about this one. This one is something that I find very fascinating. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah, I always Zeus, oh, hello, son. Suddenly appear. Yeah, a lot of children.
Morgan Freeman.
So this is your favorite story specifically because you enjoy the idea of like brotherly love, that type of thing, or is it because you find it's very unique, like the theme of the message or what?
Okay, I think it's more on the theme and the message. Like, I read so many Greek mythologies of people screwing up and doing selfish things, right? This is one of the very rare few that talk about selflessness and sacrifice.
Okay. Which is good. Like, I think it's nice to have something that's more positive in a mythology that is full of negativity.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Zeus. Yeah. Actually, can I ask, right? You know, like Zeus was saying that for you to be for your brother to live, you have to give up your immortality, correct? Yeah. I'm quite sure Zeus could have given both immortality, right? But he was just being a dick. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but I feel like it's because they are in the end, although they are gods, right, they are governed by like I don't know why, right? They always say that they are always governed by rules, and there's always like that's where like I think it's from the Greek where it's like equivalent exchange. Like, you always need to exchange something for what, and that's why in the temples they always ask that you have to sacrifice. There's always sacrifice at the point of time.
You want to ask something for the gods, you have to sacrifice something.
Correct.
Interesting. I do find this story interesting. I'll go and read out about this, definitely for sure. Okay, Ziyong, your last story to enlighten us about the world of mythology. You're saying you're going to be talking about something safe, some protection. Okay, tell us how the most What's that? It
The
helps
corner
pandemic
camera.
the most.
The first.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the story of King Minos of Crete. So King
Ooh.
Minos, this guy, actually
Mhm.
was also another half child of Zeus, but he, of course, he rose to become the king of this land called Crete, which is where Zeus grew up in.
Okay.
But he slept around so much that this guy he sleep with, girl he also sleep with. His wife actually cursed him and say, every time you ejaculate, right, you will ejaculate scorpions and snakes. Then all your lovers will die because they cannot be eaten by all these
Oh
things.
wow, damn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
actually,
Family
right,
planning.
to so-called, some versions will say for him to continue sleeping around, and other versions will say for him to have safe sex with his wife, he had to create a condom made from goat bladder skin. Don't know what. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So they're saying
Yeah.
that the reason why the condom was invented was just so that he doesn't kill the person like with
He's
all of the scorpions and the
With the
snakes.
sperm,
Yes,
as the, which is their sperm. Wow.
Ah,
Oh.
okay. So like it's just because he's a horny guy.
philanderer. Prior to that, during his ascension to be king, right, he actually had to so-called build his legitimacy to be the king of Crete. So he
Okay.
actually called upon Poseidon to so-called give him a sign to say that you will be give him a sign that you will be a king. So Poseidon, right, actually caught a very big and majestic white bull, bull, a cow, a white bull, which actually King Minos promised to him, say, I will sacrifice this bull to you, in your honor, so that you will give me legitimacy to be the king of Crete.
Okay.
I don't know how the logic here works, but this is the story.
Okay.
Then but he changed his mind last minute and decided to just sacrifice a normal bull, a normal cow, to
What's the reason why he didn't do it?
Poseidon.
What's the reason why he didn't do it?
Lazy.
To me, what I believe in is that I think his ego got too big. Then he wanted to keep the bull for himself. After that, Poseidon was so pissed, right? He laid a curse on his wife, right? Such that the wife will go horny and crazy for the normal bull, and then the normal bull impregnated her and then birthed this thing called a Minotaur.
Minotaur. Yeah, this is the origin of the Minotaur.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask, like in the story of Icarus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Minotaur, is it that Minotaur that is referring to?
Correct.
The one that is like trapping, that traps them in the...
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So the Minotaur to King Minos is a shameful thing Yeah. But he cannot kill the Minotaur because by right this is so-called Poseidon. I don't know you call it blessed or not. He blessed him with this Minotaur So cannot kill, but he cannot parade it and show it to people. And he cannot, he cannot treat it as a son or what, because this Minotaur don't have any reason why. He just eat people and then he had to prepare sacrifice for the Minotaur also. At this time, this inventor called Daedalus came to his land seeking refuge, because Daedalus was a very great inventor, but he was jealous of his own nephew's accomplishment. Then he pushed his own nephew off the cliff. So he was on the run. So he found King Minos. So King Minos said, you stay in my land, but you have to build a place to trap this Minotaur in. Then that's when he built this thing called a labyrinth.
Like a dungeon. Yeah.
So actually, a lot of people tried to slay the Minotaur, but this guy called Theseus, he was the first guy to successfully kill the Minotaur, but not of course he is very strong but he killed the Minotaur because his this daughter of King Minos fell in love with him, and then she gave him all the secrets of the labyrinth, and then he went by a passageway and then killed this Minotaur.
Okay. Yeah. So
because
that's how the Minotaur died,
So because this Minotaur was killed, right? King Minos was so pissed and think that this Daedalus never do a good job of building this labyrinth. So he actually captured his son Icarus, right? And throw it into the labyrinth together with him. That's why he had to so-called create wings so that he and his son can escape.
Yeah, fly off, right?
Then that's
They
why
flew
the sun
too close to the sun.
close to the sky.
Yeah, which is something that people always use to this day. It's like the don't get too close, like
So
you know,
close to
don't
yeah.
Don't
Don't
play
be,
with
don't be
fire,
like
yeah.
Icarus. Yeah.
don't play too much with fire. Don't reach out too much. Okay, crazy. So in the end, for all this stuff that you read through the mythology, I think overall you just think that it's very like how to say, just full of negativity lah. Like a lot of negative stories and stuff like that lah.
Yes. So actually, if you ask me, right, Greek mythology is my least favorite out of the
major
4-5
major mythology.
genre of mythologies that I know lah. Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't know, maybe because the amount of details and the amount of like information that gets circulated online. Yeah, and like so much negativity lor. Yeah, in fact, if you ask me to choose, right, I would choose Japanese mythology because it's closer to what we Chinese know, or rather what I as a Chinese know. And actually, Japanese, they have a lot of what they call Shinto temples, means temples built to like pay respect to all these mythology gods that are still very well maintained, and you can go visit in Japan at the moment.
Like those shrines
whereas,
and like stuff
yeah,
like that.
whereas like Greek mythology, right, a lot of these places like the temple to pay tribute to Aphrodite, right, because of Greece bankruptcy, right, they cannot they cannot maintain and
Sustain
do a
it,
good job
yeah.
of preserving it.
Yeah, such a shame. Actually, like,
Such a shame.
yeah, then like just to close it off, right? Why do you think that this Greek mythology is so popular, even though it's like full of negativity? Or
Okay, I think it's so popular because of what happened in history. Yeah, because Greek mythology is one of the rare few things that are being passed down in sort of a complete set lah.
okay,
So not
that's true.
only
That's true.
not only Renaissance used them as things to paint, but even in like the world of psychology and in the world of like philosophy, right? When they want to argue for a point, a lot of times they will take these Greek mythology stories to sort of substantiate their point. So like for example,
philosophical, okay.
yeah, correct. So like for example, when I study university, there's this guy called Sigmund Freud. So Freud is a bit sick in a sense that he liked to say that like children grow up, or rather girls grow up a bit like let's say they are incomplete because they lack a penis. Or let's say he thinks that boys they always want to find a woman that is close to what their mother is, because they have this thing called Oedipus complex. So actually the story of Oedipus is taken from Greek mythology. It's called a tragedy where he so-called marry his own mother and kill his own father.
Yeah, I think it would be quite interesting, right, if you were to dive into more of like the human side next time. You know what I mean? Like the Hercules side and stuff like that.
Hercules, Theseus, Perseus, all these, the Amazonians. Yeah, Jason and the Argonauts. These are the few.
That's the reason why, like, especially because it falls into the genre nowadays, especially with like webtoons, manga, and movies, right? Is that like a lot of the things that it's like fantasy, you know? It's like and it's like they are very humanized because they're all as gods. They have like the full range of emotions, jealousy, everything, right? So it's like wow. Then after that, the fact that you can learn their powers, you can embody them, and that kind of thing. There's a lot of like it becomes very fantasy. You'll be able to embody them into like your animes or your movies or that. And with now CGI effects, right? It's like wow. It's like it looks super cool.
Yeah, it does. Okay, it's actually like Brandon, right? Before we go off, do you have any like what should people watch if they want to learn about like what manga or like what
anime?
Yeah, which one specifically that we should go and check out?
So there are a lot of animes and mangas that they are based off of Greek mythology, and I feel like even one of the more popular ones, like the anime, right, is this anime called Danmachi. It's quite and literally it's like all the gods are like literally all the Greek gods are they appear on the not really Zeus but almost all the rest of them. Yeah.
Oh, so this one got watch.
Yeah.
The guy have tattoo on his back one.
Yeah. No, all of them have the tattoo on the back. So it's like all the gods are sponsors. Like they have to find like they'll find heroes to sponsor. Then after that they'll update them. And then they'll create their own family. And their family has to climb a tower. And that's where they compete. Like which family is the best, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Interesting. I think overall it's quite interesting. You can learn more about the gods. And I think we'll probably do one in the future where you learn about the humans. But also check out that anime that Brendan referenced, which is Danmachi, correct?
Danmachi,
okay. Overall, I think that was quite a interesting and enlightening episode. I can learn a bit more about Greek mythology. All right. that was our Greek mythology episode.
Get out of here.
Oh, look at the time. The coffee shop is closing. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed the episode, please remember, give it a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe. We have episodes that drops every Monday. But at the same time also, if you're into football season is back. The football kaki drops every Wednesday. And if you're into big game show formats, you have the SG Draft podcast that drops every Friday. Also, if you're going to be interested to vote on some fun topics that we have a daily tournament poll that comes up in how to say this, like that comes out at the same time of our KopiBros episode. So if you like that style of stuff, please head over to our Instagram page and vote for this week's tournament. Okay, we hope everyone enjoyed this episode. You can learn a bit more about gods in mythology. We'll be touching on the human side next time. But remember,
Kopi a day keeps your troubles away.
I'll be there someday. I can go the distance.
I will find my way.
If I can be strong.
Thank you, boys. Thank you. Bye, man. See y'all.